Hello, everyone. Welcome to Craft and Chat with Miss Craft Princess. I am your hostess, Miss Craft Princess, and I thank you so much for spending a little time with me. So, what is Craft and Chat? Well, every Sunday evening, I'm in here at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm crafting, and you're chatting with me in the chat. And we're just hanging out. What we're doing is resetting our minds for the week ahead. It's something that I used to do I've been doing forever, and just decided to invite you into my craft studio. So we're going to get started. I'm a handcrafted stationery and custom gift designer. I specialize in greeting cards for all occasions. I do invitations, but not wedding, and a lot of gift items. If you're not following me, I would love it if you give me a follow on my social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Miss Craft Princess. And you can see all of the beautiful things that I make on my website at MsCraftPrincessDesigns.com. Now, if you're watching this on Facebook, hi, my Facebook family. And if you're watching this at the Creative Spirit Channel.lightcast.com, hello to you too. Now, if you're watching from the lightcast.com, you can always go to my website, hit the contact button, and send me a message. That sends an email to me. Trust me, I read all of them and I will respond. So, what's in the goodie box tonight? I have another really cute card that we're going to make. So, this is scratch paper. So, we're either going to be ink blending or coloring, right? I have a little ruler that helps me position things. We have our little piece of cardstock that we're going to do something special on. Going with another May Made It stamp. And we're going to be using this church, if that gives you any ideas to what we might be doing. I have this. This is a light gray. And while it may look white, when I put it next to the white, then you can see it's gray. And we are going to marry it with our cutting die. And this is such a pretty die. We have a card base because, again, we're making greeting cards. I have some scissors, so we're going to be fussy cutting, something I love to do. And then we have a whole lot of markers, so that we're going to be doing some coloring. So let's get started. I really hope that y'all had a wonderful week and weekend. I did. Happy June 1st to everybody. It's the first day of a new month. Can you believe it's June already? Oh my, the year is really getting by us, isn't it? So the first thing I think I'm going to do tonight is stamp. So we're just going to pop that little piece in here, that little slender piece in there. We are going to pull our church image from the stamp set. So this is all about using what you have. And that's something that I have dedicated myself to this year. Rather than going out and buying all the new things, I am using what I have in my stash. This is another stamp set that I've had forever and I never used. And if you're a crafter, no matter what you're doing, whether you're a paper crafter like me, whether you knit or crochet or sew, whatever you're doing, I'm sure that we all like to collect all the things, right? But we don't use them. And let's be intentional and make this a year where we use them. So that's what I'm doing. And I have just been having so much fun, and I don't think I'll run out of stuff to use. So I'm going to use my favorite black ink, VersaFine Onyx Black. And we are going to bring that stamp over here, and we are going to tap, tap, tap. Get the little ink on it. Remember, we tap. We don't mash down, because if you mash down, then you might get ink down in the crevices of those windows, and nobody wants that. So we're going to tap, tap, tap. And I use the stamp positioning tool because if it doesn't come out the first time, I can just restamp it. Okay. I use the heel of my hand and just kind of rub it in. I'm not mashing because, again, if you just mash, then that ink could spread out and you get an image you really don't want. And I want a nice, pretty, crisp image. And since I'm using my stamp positioning tool, I can always restamp it. So there's no need for me to apply. So I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just using like the heel of my hand, if you will. Okay. Let's see how that comes out. Okay, that is pretty. I'm going to do it one more time because I'm using the stamp positioner. So we're just going to ink it up. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm stamp it again. And I'm pretty sure that that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and close this black ink because if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know that if an ink pad's open on my desk, bad things happen. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That is what I want. So, believe it or not, that's all the stamping we're going to do. So we are going to, I need to color that, but I'm not going to color that right now because I'm itching for y'all to see what this looks like. So this is a die that was in my stash that I had not used. And so y'all are like, what are you doing? Well, I do like a lot of other crafters, you know, I just buy stuff, but not this year. So let me get Big Girl up here. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Oh, y'all are familiar with my die cutting machine. And we are going to cut that. Okay. We are going to cut that. And as you see, the paper, I cut the paper smaller than the die because the die measures the same size as my card base, and I didn't need it that big. So we're going to, and then I just always run it back a second time because I just do. Okay. Remove that die, move this machine, and let you see what came out. There's a few little bits in there, but I'm going to show you. Look at that. See that? Those are hearts. These little bitty pieces are hearts. It's a nice quilted pattern. I just think that's so pretty. Okay, so we're going to set that over to the side. Now let's get back to coloring. I'm going to put on my spectacles that I use to color. Bring this down for y'all. And we're going to start coloring. So I am going to start with the stained glass windows. I looked at those and I thought, I want those to be stained glass windows, okay? And not just regular windows. It's a church. Thing about it is, you can make yours whatever you want. So, well, this one's going to be, I'm going to just put the yellow in there because this is where the big chandelier is. And so I got my scratch paper here so it doesn't, alcohol ink markers will go through. And I mean, I have this on my mat so that it doesn't mess up my black mat, but I just always put a scratch piece of paper because I have it. So we're going to make that one yellow. And I think we're going to make that one yellow. And we're going to do the same thing on the other window. We're going to have symmetrical windows, okay? And then I'm going to make this one blue. I mean, green, the other blue. Oh, I crack myself up sometimes. So, what are you doing on this beautiful Sunday? It was such a beautiful day here. So, craft and chat. I call it craft and chat because sometimes y'all chat with me in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, I would love for you to say hashtag replay. Also, give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really love this, then give me a heart, okay? And leave a little comment. That really helps me because it lets Facebook know that people are interested in this video and it'll send it to others. And when people say, I love to support small businesses, but times are hard or whatever, and I might not have the money to do it. You can support with a thumbs up, a heart, a simple, oh, that's cute. You don't have to always buy, because that really does help us, get our get our content out to other people. Oh, thank you so much, Karen Lynn, for joining. So it's cloudy and rainy there in Phoenix area all day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It was a beautiful, beautiful day here today. And you're working on your planner while you're watching me. That makes my heart sing that you're doing some type of craft while you're watching me. But you may be a school teacher. I have school teachers that say, hey, I am doing lesson plans, though I guess it's summertime. You might not be doing your lesson plans, or maybe you're teaching summer school. I have people who knit and quilt, and they're saying, hey, I'm watching you while I'm knitting and quilting. And that just makes my heart sing. The thing of it is, there's just so many different forms of crafting, right? You might be into sewing, you might be into painting. You might just be chilling because we call this craft and chat. You might just be relaxing, and that's okay too. The main thing is we're decompressing and we're getting our minds ready for the week ahead, because whether you're ready or not, Monday will be here in a few short hours, okay? And we want to be ready for it. So this brown here, gonna make the cross brown. And yep. And I left off black someplace else. I wanted to make this ledge brown. Black. I'm having trouble with colors tonight, aren't I? Forget what I'm saying. You see what I'm doing? Okay. And then I want to make the knob for the door black. And I think I'm going to make that black. And then my church, it's going to be red, like a red brick church, even though it's not brick. And I thought about taking the time to draw brick pattern, but it's a 30-minute show, 30-minute-ish show. I try to keep y'all here no later than 30 minutes. So we're just going to color and you pretend that it's brick. But I want a red church, like the old red brick churches. The one I grew up going to. So that is why my church is red. So we're just going to lay that color down. This red marker is squeaking. I don't know if you can hear that. And what that means is it is struggling. It is time for a new marker. I don't think these are refillable. I have so many different kinds, and I don't think this kind is refillable at all. But that's okay. That is all right. It will get us through this live, or I will just run right over there and get another red marker, because everything I need is within reach. That is how my studio is organized, so I am not running all over the place when I'm trying to put together a project. So, yep, So now I just used like the tip, that fine tip or bullet tip, if you will, to get in the skinny areas. And then I'll use this tip since it is on its last leg to finish laying down color. Sounds like that one is too. Oh, well. This one may have to go the way of markers that are no longer good. I will remember that. There we go. Yeah. We're going to finish coloring this one up real quick. So we're just laying down that color, getting in there. Let's see if I can be careful enough with that wide tip. Yeah. This one isn't long for the garbage. So here we go. All right. Oh, I need to put a little red here. And then I want my door to be a lighter brown. You can get that down there. All right. We're going to fussy cut because I don't have a die for this one. So we're just going to fussy cut this church. But you know, I don't mind fussy cutting. I like doing it. Let me raise that up a little bit so that it doesn't blur. Get a little fuzzy when I get too close to it. Take that off. Okay. So I don't fret. Her stamps don't come, May stamps don't come with a die, but she has like some SVGs that you can upload into your Cricut machine. And I just never did that. I just didn't take much to cut. So none of her images are so involved that fussy cutting is like a laborious task. So I just cut. But anyway, and you see it's all about moving the paper. I guess I moved the scissors though some too, but when I'm turning, I'm like turning the paper. Because that's how I was taught to do it. There's so many ways to do something. You just, as long as you get that image cut, right? And I always leave a little white border around my images when I fussy cut. Some people cut right up to the edge. I don't because that's just not how I was taught. But also, I don't because when you do have a die, it will leave a little white border around it. And so I guess I want my fussy cutting to mimic what it would look like if a die cut it. So, okay, so there's our church fussy cut out. Okay, that didn't take all day, did it? Mm-mm. Okay, so we have this beautiful gray that I die cut earlier. And we have our card base. This one isn't going to be a very involved card at all, but it's equally as pretty, which just goes to show that you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours on a card. So I am back with my liquid glue. We're going to use it. And I'm going to use it because I have all these little hearts. See all those little hearts? And if I used my tape runner, it would come through, be a little sticky, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to use my glue and kind of go around and just put enough down on there to keep it down, because you know a MsCraftPrincess card cannot fall apart. So we're just going to put some glue down there. Oops. Here we go. And again, I always just double check to make sure it's open in the right way, because I have glued them and they didn't. It was not the end of the world. And the wet glue gives me a little wiggle room if I have to kind of wiggle it into place. Let me make sure that that is straight. Yep, that looks good. So that wet glue gives me time to kind of wiggle it in place. We'll tip off. Okay. And now I want to take this church. At first I was going to put it in the center because I'm always like a in the center kind of crafter, but I decided to get a little sophisticated. MsCraftPrincess isn't going to go in the center tonight. No, she isn't. So we're going to put a little glue there. Just get a little glue down there. Of course, you could pop this up if you wanted to on some foam tape or some foam dots. I used all my foam tape on a card last week, and I haven't been out to buy any more because I have just haven't been out to shop. But I also have foam dots, and I do have other types of adhesives. So I didn't feel the need to go out and buy any. So that's where we are right now. We need to put the greeting on the front. So I have this little ruler here to make sure that I am straight. And I went to my Cricut machine and I cut this out. But I put a what do you call it? Outline offset around this. And it's not a big deal, but that's why the day is separate from this, because I made the offset so small. So when my Cricut cut it, it cut the day separate. But it's not a throwaway. We can still use it. So I will I want to make sure that these are straight. Come down a little. Let's see. Best wishes on your wedding day. Yeah, that's straight. Okay, so let's start gluing. So because the day is separate, I'm going to glue it first. Just a little, not a lot. Day. Okay. And then butting the rest of it up to it will be a little bit easy. Okay. And I could see that that needs to come out, that little piece there in the center. Okay. And just see if there's anything else that needs to come out. Let's see, one little piece. Let me get my pokey tool here. We'll just poke that there. And that one there. Okay. So put a little glue on this. And so put that glue on there. Okay. So now we go back up here. I'm going to have to, because I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to make sure you see it, but I'm trying to see it too. Make sure. Put that little piece out of my way. And you can actually see where it was supposed to butt up to it. So now let me look. Make sure that's straight. So we don't want to give anybody a cricket card. I think I see one more piece that could have come out. Okay, there we go. Got that. Look at that. Best wishes on your wedding day. Now, I want to do one more thing with this card because you could do so much more. You could, let me put the cap on this glue so that it won't dry up on me. But you could do stones in the, like if you wanted to add rhinestones, especially in the hearts. But I think I love the hearts and I didn't want to cover that. But what I do want to do is, y'all know that while I'm not a bling person per se, I love my sparkle pen. I love these pens. They are by Crafter's Companion, and I just love them. And so when I want to put a little sparkle in something, y'all can see it is well loved. It's got one of my little bristles. I probably just need to cut that off, but we're not going to do that right now. And so I don't have to squeeze it because I know that I've been using it, so it's primed. So I'm going to bring it right up here to you. And we're just going to put a little sparkle on the windows because windows aren't just flat. Glass has a little shimmer to it, right? And so that's what I want my glass to have, some shimmer. And so I'm just going to use this sparkle pen. And then we'll get this window up here. Okay, let me close that up and then bring it up and see if you can see. You can see the sparkle. You see that shimmer? Yeah, I just really love that. Just gives it just a little added dimension. But anyway, that, my friends, is our card for tonight. I really hope you like that. And I hope you'll join me next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Craft and Chat with Miss Craft Princess. Until then, remember, giving a handcrafted greeting card is like giving a hug. Be blessed.